Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check it off because we make getting vaccinated easy. You've got this because we've got you. To learn more, visit yougotthis.usaging.org.
From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels. Welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. As promised last week, I said I was going to get my quarterly haircut, and I did. It's almost fall, and I get my haircut 4 times a year, and I didn't have much choice. I got corralled by my family members, and, well, now I got my ears lowered again. So, welcome. Kind of a rainy evening, wasn't it? The temperatures dropped 55 degrees up on the hill in Ripley. You go from summer to fall, Justin, in 30 seconds. It's like, what? Well, it is what it is, and therefore that means there's going to be a lot of activities throughout Chautauqua County this time of year, fall festivals and all kinds of cool things, and we're going to be talking about some of those things here in just a little bit. Looks like the rain is letting up. When we pulled into the studio, it was downpouring, and by the time we got things set up, the sun was shining again. So I think it's clearing, so it's going to be a great day for some of the activities that are going on around here in the area. Hope you're doing well. Good morning to wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon wherever you are in the world. And for those of our friends over in Kenya, Karen and James, if you are viewing, we got a picture of you later. We're going to pop that up in a little while. So good morning, folks that are watching from Kenya. Karen Cockrum from Westfield. And then, of course, our friends over in the Ukraine, Natalia and friends, always thinking of all of you and hoping that you're staying safe. All right, throughout the show, if you have a comment or a question, or you have a suggestion, a birthday, whatever, give us a call, 716-753-5225, or after 10 o'clock, because we're not here after 10, you can email me at chautauquasunrise, all one word, at gmail.com. And you can also go to our Facebook page. We got everything. You can contact us, and as you know, I do some announcements in the beginning of the show, and they're all about what's going on, all the cool things here in Chautauqua County, and there are cool things. Every season has their various, really very creative and wonderful activities for all of us to partake of. So Stay tuned on that. I want to say good afternoon to my listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people in Jamestown, Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. So glad you could have a listen with us. And we're so thankful for the radio station to rebroadcast our show. Today's show is going to be very interesting because we're going to be talking about some creative things that you can do that you never thought you could do. I never thought I could do. And, well, I'm just going to tell you, just stay tuned because it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you're listening, you can always go to YouTube and find this show and then watch us like in real time almost. So we're going to be in YouTube forever and ever as long as YouTube is around. All right, so if you have an announcement or whatever, and for instance, I'll give you an example. I'm going to wish my wife happy birthday. Tomorrow's her birthday. I can't say anything more than that, but happy birthday, Barb. And if you see her or talk to her or whatever, wish her happy birthday. Let's see. I'm going to go into further detail, but just as a pre-announcement, today in Westfield is the Grape and Wine Festival, and we have a poster we're going to show a little bit later on all that. But today's the day, and tomorrow, and then there's just other things that are going on in every community, farmers markets and so forth. So I'm not going to spend a lot more time talking on just whatever. I'm going to do some announcements, and then we're going to get to my guests who are anxiously awaiting in the side room there. All right, let's go. Chris, you ready? Chris is my engineer today. So let's see how he does, Justin. Wow, look at that, right on the money. Registration is now open for 2024-25 program year over at our friends at Infinity Performing Arts. The program year starts on September 16th, which is just around the corner. Register by September 3rd. Well, I think that we passed that mark, but I'm sure anytime you can register, just going online throughout the week. Get ready to dive into a world of music, art, dance, theater, performance, photography, and guess what? There's a whole lot more. Do you know someone who would absolutely love to study the arts? Are you ready to begin on an incredible artistic journey yourself? Well, look no further because Infinity is the perfect place for you. Register online by going to, ready? Info at, now this is all one word, infinityperformingarts.org. Okay, one more time, info at Infinity Performing Arts, all one word, .org. I love those guys. I have spent a lot of time with them over the years. They're on our Christmas show every single year. What they're doing with these young folks is incredible. And I've had the pleasure of watching some of these young people grow over the last, 10, 11, 12 years or whatever it's been. And even before that, because I was doing some work with them. And now they are teachers in schools. They are performers. They are working with kids at Infinity. So it's a generational thing. And if you don't have all those things, let me read them again: music, art, dance, theater, performance, photography. You don't have those things in your life. Well, you must be living under a rock, or you're just a boring person. I don't know. There's just so much out there to do and to watch and to enjoy. And so anyways, good on them. Infinity Performing Arts, their program year is starting September 16th. Register. All right, here's some other things. This is a fun one. Cornell Cooperative Extension of Chautauqua County's Master Gardener program is excited to announce that the Chautauqua County Beekeepers Association will hold their monthly meeting on Thursday, September 12th, 7 p.m. at the Fluvanna Community Church over on Fluvanna Avenue in Jamestown. They're going to be focusing on winterizing hives for cold weather. And I mention these things because a lot of people say, why are you talking about beekeeping? Without bees, we're in trouble. We underestimate the necessity of certain insects. They're the one that pollinate all the fruits and vegetables that we have and all that good stuff. All right, so anyways, attendees and members are encouraged to bring items you use to assist your bees to survive the winter. These could be store-bought items or homemade items. Some examples could be wraps, insulation boards, quilt boxes, candy boxes, mouse cards, whatever. So anyways, that's going to be held September 12th, 7 p.m. at Fluvanna Community Church. Okay? So if you're interested in bees, check it out. Okay, Chris, let's go to the next one. Go to the movies. Twisters. Kate Carter is a former storm chaser haunted by a devastating encounter with a tornado during her college years, who now studies storm patterns on screens safely in New York City. That's my level. She is lured back to open plains by her friend Javi to test a groundbreaking new tracking system There she crosses paths with Tyler Owens, the charming and reckless social media superstar who thrives on posting his storm-chasing adventures with his raucous crew. The more dangerous, the better. No way, Jose. I've been out there on the plains, and I've seen storms coming in, and there's no way I would be a storm chaser, but I bet this is a fun movie. Okay, and that's going to be held on September 13th at 7 o'clock, and it's PG-13, 122 minutes long. Then, if that's not enough, you have The Fabulous Four. If 3 is a crowd, 4 is a party. The Fabulous Four is an uproarious comedy about a group of lifelong friends who travel to Key West, Florida, to be bridesmaids in the surprise wedding of their best college girlfriend, Marilyn. What could go wrong? Over the course of one outrageous trip, sisterhoods are rekindled. The past resurfaces, and there are enough sparks, romance, and so forth to change all their lives in unexpected ways. $8 for that particular movie. $10, let's see, wait a minute. $8 per admission at the box office. Otherwise, it's $10. Online ticket sales end 2 hours before movies and events. So anyways, and that's going to be September 18th, 7 p.m., rated R, 98 minutes. All right. This next one's very interesting. This comes from our friends from the Resource Center, one of our underwriters. You see their piece in the beginning of the show? Okay, listen, especially right now with the Paralympics that are going on and Special Olympics and so forth. This is called the Sprout Film Festival. Step Up for Autism celebration set for September 25. The Resource Center and Filling the Gap, Inc. will pair 2 of their popular events when the Sprout Film Festival and Step Up for Autism take place Wednesday, September 25 at the Reginald A. Center for the Arts on 3rd Street. The Sprout Film Festival features 11 short films that celebrates the diverse lives and creativity of people with intellectual developmental disabilities. The films seek to challenge assumptions and break down stereotypes about people with disabling conditions. This is near and dear to my heart, being a special ed teacher for a million years and administrator, so this sounds really cool. Sprout is a traveling film festival, and each host community selects the films that will be screened locally. People can view the festival's trailer at resourcecenter.org/Sprout to get a feel for some of this year's films. The movies will begin at 7 p.m. The films have a combined running time of about 75 minutes. That's like a little more than an hour. There will be, there will not be an intermission, so it's straight through. This is the 8th time the Resource Center has brought the Sprout Film Festival to Chautauqua County. Admission to the film festival is free, thanks to the grant from Filling the Gap, which works with the Resource Center to improve the lives of people with disabilities in Chautauqua County. The theater doors will open at 6 p.m., giving festival goers time to try to win items in a prize drawing. Not only get to see great movies, little films, but you get to win some prizes. And a sweets auction that are being put on by Step Up for Autism. The prize drawing features donated gift baskets, while the sweets auction features, get ready, cakes, pies, and other treats donated by local businesses. Please note that there will not be an Autism Awareness Walk as part of the Step Up for Autism activities this year. However, they're pleased to share that their longtime supporter, Dory, I can't say the name, will hold the 5th annual Step Up for Autism Walk October 5. Go to the Resource Center for more information on Dory's event. Okay, so that's coming up on September 25. Where am I going next? Page 8. Okay, now we're going to Mayville. Chautauqua County is proud to announce the launch of a new free training program designed to support those who are stepping into the role of parenting for a second time. This is very interesting. I hadn't seen this before. Whether you're a grandparent, aunt, uncle, foster parent, or any other guardian who finds themselves caring for a child again, the PASTA, which means parenting a second time around, program is here to help. Program overview. This is what's going to be in it. The PASTA program consists of a series of 8 workshops specifically designed to address the unique challenges faced by second-time caregivers. These workshops provide valuable insights, strategies, and community connections to help you navigate your renewed role with confidence and support. The workshop includes things like it wasn't supposed to be like this, understand the emotional and practical shifts that come with taking on a parenting role unexpectedly, getting to know you, focusing on child development and understanding how to meet the unique needs of the child in your care. You ever watch your grandchildren? Well, this is sort of like that. You know, you all of a sudden it's like, well, we're your parents, and now I got to watch you. And discipline that really works. Effective techniques for managing behavior and fostering a positive environment, legal concerns for kinship families, understanding the rights and responsibilities of caregivers, and a whole lot more. So where's this going to take place? Locations are the North County, Chautauqua County Department of Mental Hygiene, Dunkirk Center at 60 Franklin Avenue. That's going to be starting September 19th from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And if you go to South County, it's going to be at the Jamestown Prendergast Library in the fireplace room. Very nice room. At 509 Cherry Street, starting September 10. So that's like just a couple days from now. And that's going to be starting 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Led by experienced professionals in child development, legal issues, and family dynamics. Each session offers both practical advice and emotional support. Participants will also gain access to a variety of resources designed to assist them in their caregiving roles. Light refreshments will be served, but you got to register. You got to talk to Tammy Shalino at 346-5431. 346-5431. Now, let me just say one thing: is that sometimes people find themselves in the caregiver role, and just like we all kind of chuckle, you know, when we have our kids, there's no book, there's no book of directions how to raise kids. Well, as grandparents, as caregivers, they're sometimes we don't know where to begin. So this could be a really important workshop for you. I'm told that I have a phone call, so let's take a phone call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Doc. How are you?
I'm fine. Jeff, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Why aren't you here on the other side of the wall pushing buttons for me?
Well, we're actually out in Chautauqua Lake area doing a ride for kids and family cancer and sickle cell anemia type thing.
Gosh.
It's a summer camp for all that stuff.
Wow, well, good on you guys. A lot of riders out there?
Yes, in fact, there are. I think it has increased exponentially from the last time we rode this ride a couple of years ago.
Is it raining out there? Because it was pouring here about a half hour ago.
Well, I think we've got some showers along the way, hopefully not too much, and hopefully we won't get too wet.
Okay. Well, be sure to take some pictures and post them. We'll all love to see them.
Yeah, we're just going to check in right now, so
all right.
We should be on the road before too long for a 44-mile ride around Chautauqua Lake.
Well, the weather's cooler, so that won't be too bad. So, is your baby brother with you?
Yes, he is.
All right, well, say hi to Galen, and you guys be safe out there on the road, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thank you much. You have a good show.
See you next week. Thanks, Jeff. Folks, that was Jeff Zook and his brother Galen. They do a lot of fundraiser rides on their bikes. I just try to get up and down Main Street in Ripley and get home safe. 44 miles. You know, I did a 44-mile for the ride for Roswell about 6 years ago. Okay, moving along. Still recovering. Let's go to slide 19, Chris. We got to wrap things up here. Patterson Library, Lakeshore Center for the Arts, Chautauqua County Historical Society, and Westfield Cemetery Association present Westfield Cemetery Tour through History 2024. Come join us Friday, September 20th, or Saturday, September 21, as local actors bring residents of Westfield back to life. Horse-drawn carriage tours or walking tours are available. Refreshments will be provided, and porta potty will be available. That's important. Horse-drawn carriage tours are $20 per person. Friday evening tours are at 6, 7, 8, and 9. Saturday evening tours, horse-drawn that is, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Limited seating. But if you really want to get close and personal with the actors, there's the walking part. You don't have to be on the horse-drawn. And walking tours are $15 per adult and $5 per child, ages 3 to 17. We want to get the students out there learning about their local history. Walking tours are at 6:30 and 7:30 both evenings. For more information for tickets, you can contact the Patterson Library by calling 716-326-2154. Now, leave that picture up. You see that guy way over to the one side? You look familiar? Yeah, that's me. I was Austin Smith last year. He was really, really old. He used to be the mayor of Westfield. And that this year I'm doing another character, so I'm not going to tell you who it is, but he's pretty famous. And there's going to be 6 of us, and we'll be talking more next week about this because I've got some of the actors going to join me, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it. So anyways, September 20 and 21 at the Westfield Library Cemetery, sponsored by the library and the Lakeshore Center for the Arts and so forth. Okay, so that's really a lot of fun if you like history, and it's not scary, it's more historical. So if you like that sort of thing, it's cool. Okay, let's pop up a picture, number 21, Chris. Last week, Karen Cochran and James, her right arm down there, they sent that picture in while we were doing our picture. And Karen, I'm guessing maybe you guys are watching today. So down in Kenya, so Chautauqua Sunrise gets to Africa finally. So I think we're on almost all the continents so far. And I still got to get to Antarctica. So anybody going to Antarctica, let me know. Okay, so we hope you're doing well down there. The next one is a very important one. Today, I think it just started, is the Grape and Wine Festival, and they're going to be doing all sorts of things in Moore Park, and it starts at 10. Thank you, Chris. I can't read the small print from here. And then tomorrow as well, it's at the Moore Park, all kinds of things going on there, and then the Grape Discovery Center just down the road on Route 20. It's really beautiful there, and I love going in there and taking my grandkids there and stuff. So anyways, the Grape and Wine Festival, if you want to do pie eating contest. They're going to be stomping grapes from what I'm told and so forth. And finally, last one, we have an Alzheimer's walk coming up. Chris, can you read the date for me? I can't see it from here. I can't see it. All right, we'll be talking more about that as we go along, but
October 5th.
Oh, October 5. Boy, that's really teeny tiny. Okay, so October 5, and that's going to be up at Point Gratiot Park. We talked about this last week with Dana Corwin. All right, I'm going to take off right now, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. This is for you.
Psst, they're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
And I'm back. Okay, I have actually some friends that are joining me today. Friends from a long time ago and friends more recently. But I want to welcome back to the show is Jackie Phillips and Sylvia Rowe, who I've known for like probably close to 40 years, right? Our daughters.
Has it?
Well, I won't say how old your daughter is if you don't say how old my daughter is, but they were in preschool together. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yep.
So we've known each other for a
Good friends for
long
years.
time. I've known all your family members and stuff. So today we're going to be not talking about our children, but we're going to be talking about something I think is really, really cool, and that's the Innovation Studio that's housed at the Lakeshore Center for the Arts just down the road in Westfield. So, Jackie, how about, first of all, let's talk about you. Who are you? How did you get involved with anything that's involved with the arts?
Well, I grew up in Westfield, and when I went away for my undergraduate degree and then later graduate degree, sort of that took me away for over 30 years to New England, and that is my main home now, is near Boston. But I was always coming back. I had family members that were here and still lots of friends. I don't know, when you grew up in this town, Westfield, those roots run deep. And so any excuse I had to come back and visit, my husband and I would. And
You don't sound Bostonian. You don't say "ka."
I do.
"Ka."
Well, I've been known to. It's not appreciated around here. So no, I am a real New Englander, but this is home.
Right.
It feels like home. The minute I start seeing the vineyards driving up here, and I hear the railroad train and the fire siren, I know. Yes, exactly. And it's a really good feeling. Wonderful people here, you know. So there was just, about 10 years ago, I went to a party at Rick Mascaro's, and he told me about his vision.
There it all starts, isn't it? The same thing happened to me right here, sitting right where you're sitting.
go.
That's where he wrote me in.
He had a vision for an arts center, an adult arts center.
Yes, he did.
And it was like a bell going off. Yes, that's what this exactly what we need here. And my husband and I just really believed in him, believed in his vision, and we were happy to be one of the founding members.
Yeah, very cool.
Back then, they were performing in the park and I think nursing homes and other
Restaurants.
things.
I was there.
There you go. But they really needed a home.
Yeah.
And now we have one at 49 South Portage. It's across from the Patterson Library. We have the entire upper floor and an additional room. We're growing.
Of the Presbyterian Church.
Yes,
Right. It's
yes.
That side entrance there, right opposite the library.
Right, and we're pretty busy. We have a lot going on there.
And we're going to get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
Sylvia Rowe. How did you get involved with, where are you from originally?
I'm from Westfield.
Another Westfield.
I
being,
am. And then got married, lived in Ripley for years, and that's how our children got to know each other. But I didn't know about Lakeshore Center for the Arts, and until there was one of my neighbors saw me taking pictures of the sunset, and she said, "Are you familiar with the Lakeshore Center of the Arts? You know, they have a studio. You know, you could use that." And what? So, and it took me a year to get the courage to go. I knew they had an open studio. I found out about that, and but I thought, oh, these people are going to be professional, and I'm going to look.
Yep. Nope.
Like.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel like I would compare to
Not
them.
worthy.
Not worthy.
And
but
you were so wrong.
I fell in love with the place. I went on an open studio on a Saturday, and I met Jackie, and we clicked, and she showed me different things, like for a membership of $35, I could use the studio and practice, and that's really my interest, because I love my camera. I love taking pictures and playing around with that, and but I don't have room for a studio. I don't have room to store things, and this was like a new world.
And you get to bounce ideas off of others, right? It's like a creative juice.
Yes, and we have classes that we can take part in. We take our own photo walks, which we did the other night, and just like you said, bounce ideas off each other. And
yeah, there I'm sitting at a meeting up in the boardroom, and then I see Jackie, which made sense, and I knew you. And here comes Randy on a Thursday night. I go, Randy, what are you doing in Westfield?
Yeah.
You guys have hooked the old Randall, haven't you?
Oh, we're very happy to have Randall.
Folks, what we're referring to as Randy Bird. He's our go-to guy here. He's a cameraman. He answers the phone for me and stuff like that. We've been together, and he helps me with another project that we do. And so it's really fun to see all the connections that are coming together over the years. So, all right. So at the Lakeshore Center for the Arts, you mentioned a few things, but there's what are the rooms there right now? And then we'll get right to the heart of the matter.
So really, we're known for performing arts, live performing arts, so important in Western New York and everywhere, and it's alive and well, and it's just fascinating. If you're not interested in acting, perhaps you're interested in working on stage management or being a helper. Maybe you'd like to learn about lights or recording. I know our executive director, Rick Mascaro, is interested in creating mentorships to help create this. And so that's alive and well, or just come, as an audience member. So our schedule gets more and more full. But in addition to that, we have a lovely conference room, which is also used as the green room during performances. We have a gallery that's very active. We have a fairly new writing program, which is very successful and very supportive for people. And a couple of years ago, I wrote a grant and was generously granted by the Northern Chautauqua Community Fund which allowed us to have a makerspace, the Innovation Studio. Now the concept there, and there may be others out there, but I still haven't found any.
I never heard of one.
Is that it's a communal digital arts studio. So you're right. I mean, first of all, you have to have the space, personal space, to have your own studio. And then to trick it out with equipment, it does cost a bit, and then you have to maintain it. So we're very, very grateful to Lakeshore Center for the Arts to allow us to have the space, and so grateful to the Northern Chautauqua Community Fund that funded our initial program. So we have Canon cameras for photography. By using a video rig, you attach this to the camera, you can hang off a light and a microphone, and we're able to do professional videographer. We can do podcasts. We are doing a lot of audio recording. It seems to be project driven. Most folks come in and they have a pretty good idea what they'd like to try out, and then through the camaraderie or just exposure through classes, you find yourself doing other things. So my personal interest, I've been a photographer, amateur photographer for a long time. And I really thought the studio would be primarily photography, and we do a lot of photography. But I've sort of veered off and am very interested in videography and also audio recordings, mixing. So
for the person that's listening right now, why would they be interested in any of this?
So I think I personally believe that it's really important for adults to revisit, if they've let it go, revisit the creative side. Because it brings out, I don't know, your joie de vivre. I have really enjoyed. I can't wait. It's like an adult playground. I can't wait to get in there and see what someone else is working on, as well as holding myself accountable to working on what I'm interested in. And I'm kind of, I don't want to sound immodest, but I'm kind of amazed at what I am able to do with very little money and a little gumption and some inspiration from friends and also some of the classes. By the way, the classes, we have a lot of classes. If you go on our website, you're going to see this is just for the studio classes. These are all free for any member at Lakeshore Center for the Arts. As Sylvia said, that's only $35 a year. And you can come and try us out and see what you think before you join.
That's not even like $1 a week. It's like
it's
75 cents.
It's a bargain. It really is.
So Sylvia, you said that you're a camera buff over the years. So what are you doing different now with your photography?
Good question.
Now that I'm here at the studio, well, as a matter of fact, last night my granddaughter Mackenzie and I and her boyfriend, we went last night and had a photo shoot, and we played around with the lighting, and which I'm very new to, because like I said, I don't have room for that. So we just played, and it was fun, and Mackenzie enjoyed it, Isaiah enjoyed it, and we were able to, we went into one of the other rooms and we used, there's a standing mirror and there's some chairs.
Some props stuff.
Like like a library effect. And it was just fun. And that I would not have been able to do without the studio.
We like to travel, my wife and I, and we have our iPhones and stuff like that, and I've got like 10,000 pictures on my phone, and I do a little editing on there, but it's pretty basic. Why do we even take pictures? Because we want to remember. We want to share, right? Is that what why? And then I think there's the artistic side, capturing a moment, whatever it is. So what's your favorite moments that you've captured?
So my interest is probably less about capturing what is happening, and my goal, which I'm still aspiring to get there, is to really capture how I feel about it. And so that's where it's helpful to learn intermediate or some advanced techniques to add in the subjectivity of what you're seeing. So we just did a class together that had to do with intentional camera movement. So in other words, not every photograph needs to be tack sharp, right? If you want to convey something, a feeling about a grove of trees, what that really means, you know, what is that, how are you feeling about that? And the intentional movement, I wish I had brought a sample of it, really can get that sense of they're guarding an edge of a forest, and you know, I'm feeling very small in connection with them, versus literally a tack sharp picture of a piece of bark.
So perspective and analysis of the.
It's also a means of expression as well. So, and there are many different kinds of photography. I do think it's important that you learn the techniques involved in exposure and how to take a tack sharp picture, but then it's time to break some rules when you really want to express yourself.
You know, growing up as a kid, my dad had all kinds of cameras. In fact, when he passed away, we were shocked by how many cameras he had. I actually had one of the little brownie, you know, the little box thing.
It's an addiction.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
how I
God.
started, was with the brownie as
And
well.
he had, believe it or not, I still have it from 1914. I'm pretty sure that's how old it is. It's an old wooden, I don't even know what to call it, gizmo, and it's got a glass plate, and he would take the paper that was treated with chemicals, and he put it on there on the plate, and he put the negative on top of there, and then he closed it, and there was lights underneath, and he would expose it on the paper, and this was really old school stuff. I still have it. It's a Kodak.
Oh, wow.
And but my dad loved taking pictures. I mean, he just had a good eye, like all of you do, and he would have signed up for one of these classes in a heartbeat.
We would have loved having him there. You know, we should really take some photographs of that piece. It sounds like it's, you know, that particular camera, even just to have that.
Yeah.
That's an important piece to your family history and
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
to history
Yeah.
in general. So, you know, even it just seems like folks come into the studio, everybody has a different interest. We're all at different levels. We're all, I think, in a learning mode as well. And folks like to share. And I think that one of the projects that people come in with is to capture these moments. So as you were talking about that piece of photography equipment, I could see this, you know, you have feelings about it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and so to sort of capture that, maybe through photographs, maybe through recording a narration, which you can do at the studio, perhaps pulling it into a short film that covers other things, you can see how your interests start to blossom.
Right.
And before you know it, you're learning how to record audio, how to edit audio. You're using a video camera, photography. You're learning about manipulating these images after you've taken it. I mean, it's really endless learning, but it's so much fun. But what I want to emphasize is, because I remember you're not alone. It took a while to get Sylvia into the studio. Don't be intimidated, because it's really easy to get started.
It's a great atmosphere, you know, a sharing, non-judgmental atmosphere, you know, so once I was there, I felt at home. I felt like it was a place I wanted to be.
So what classes have you taken? You don't have to give them all, but like examples.
She's taken a lot of classes.
Yeah, studio lighting.
Okay.
That was one of the first ones that I took.
And as you can see here in our studio, we got a couple lights.
You do.
You know, people don't
You
realize.
do.
I actually critique news reporters now.
Yes.
I'll say to Barb, they got too much light on that guy.
Yeah.
He's getting washed out. You know.
I've taken creative movement. What was that? Creative
Still
movement.
life.
Yeah, where they sprinkled the sprinkles on top of a cupcake.
To get the sense of movement, even though it's a
Yeah.
2D.
I'm
photograph.
still learning all this stuff and putting it into practice.
What do you hope to do with all this?
She's doing it.
Well, I guess I would like to do more portraiture.
Okay.
I'm kind of fascinated with that, but I do like still lifes. I do like flowers and yeah, and then what I like to do is like a still life, I take and I add textures to it, and make
Is that
it
called photoshopping?
kind of like,
Right.
yeah, cropping. and-
Enhancing the background.
Yeah, but there are, like, you can get textures files, and you just place it on top of your photo, and then
Sounds like fun.
sometimes changing the color, sometimes erasing some of it.
But you're in charge of your creativity,
It's
right?
it's-
Yours. Nobody's
it's
going to say,
mine.
no, that's too blue. No, that's how I want it, right?
And sometimes I'll say, Dan, what do you think of, do you like this?
Uh-huh.
And, so
have-
sometimes I go by what somebody else says. And
Do you
then-
have some of your work at home hanging up? Not yet.
No, they're on my computer.
Yeah. My wife gets crazy because every once in a while I'll go somewhere and I'll see some artwork, whatever it is, and I drag it home. She goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I like it."
Wall space.
I do have one of my flower photos. I did order it framed, but it's not hanging yet. I don't know why. It's in a little box.
She mentioned, Sylvia mentioned about still lifes.
Uh-huh.
I think she's, something went off, I think, with you in terms of some of the classes that you're taking. So, for example, this Monday, 6 to 8, we're doing a class in creative macro, but it's going to be hands-on. So we'll be setting up our own.
All right, macaroni. What are we talking here?
So that's extreme close-up photography.
How extremely close?
As well, you're only limited by your equipment.
Oh,
So if you use an actual macro lens,
Yes.
I can get 3 inches from and be in focus from an object.
So we're not doing portraits.
Well, not on Monday night.
I guess we could if we wanted to
Dude,
take a
your
picture of
eyes are
somebody's
so-
eyeball.
I'm just sitting here
point.
going, please don't come any
Good
closer to
point.
me. I look really good far away.
But creative macro photography is a great way to get to know your camera. You have total control of the light. You have total control of moving things around, if it's a tabletop, and trying to really use your exposure triangle to your advantage. Really get into depth of field. What do I really want to do here? How does this change and this change affect the expression of the photographs? So
This is deep, isn't this?
well, it's an expression, and I think by looking at somebody's photography,
It's like-
and by the way, Sylvia's a wonderful, wonderful photographer. In fact, she's got something posted on social media today about her granddaughter, the Photoshop, and it's just, her work is wonderful. We tend to always be self-effacing, but we're always progressing, so that there's that. But then you tell me you're interested in learning the audio recording equipment.
yes,
So
yeah.
we have a 1-hour class coming up on Wednesday to learn what equipment we have at the studio, and it's industry standard. It's super easy to use, and we have fabulous mics, and you do need to know a smattering of how to do some sound editing, which is pretty easily learned.
Pretty easy.
We have a 1-hour class in that as well.
Okay, so you know that I'm always pretending I'm on the other side of the camera listening. And so if someone is interested, how do they get started? Who do they contact? What do they do?
They can actually just drop in if they're interested. We do.
Yeah, it costs $35.
No, you can welcome to come and visit anytime.
See what I did there? I
know.
got the public
Thank
a freebie.
You.
You're welcome.
really did. So, like for example, Sylvia said she came first to an open studio.
And that's the way it should
That's-
be, right? Introduction.
We
Yeah.
always have open studio on Saturday, 11 to 1. You're going to have 1 or 2 members of our leadership team there, studio administrators, Randall Bird, Sylvia, myself. We have about 6 or 7. And our purpose there is to introduce you to the room, what's available for members, hear about your project. Sometimes we might have an idea of a way that will help you get accomplished. For example, we had somebody from McClurg Mansion stop in and say, we've got a problem because we don't have enough docents to run, a very important, pro tours. And we're thinking of a self-guided tour. So we showed them the equipment that we had there. We had also some suggestions. And sure enough, they came in, used their own talent, recorded very professionally, edited, added music too, and through the use of QR codes, you can take, I think it's a wonderful tour at the McClurg Mansion. using your phone.
Cool.
So we're always challenged with different projects like that. It's a smattering of come in and see who we are and let's hear about what your current interest is or your project. And that's how you get hooked.
So is there a phone number, an email address, a website? What are they, how do they
So the email address is admin@LakeShoreCenterForTheArts.com.
Lakeshore Center for the Arts, all one word?
It is, but you only have to type it once and then it'll come up. Admin@LakeShoreCenterForTheArts.com, or we have a pretty robust website, so that's LakeShoreCenterForTheArts.com, and then there's a specific tab for studio. And when you hit that tab, you're going to see calendars for just the studio, because there's a lot going on at the Art Center. And if you click on any one of the items there, it'll go to a detailed description.
Great.
And you can sign up there. They're free to members. If you want to try a class, it's not a problem as well.
We had the Lit Chicks here not too long ago.
Yes.
So can we talk? They're not taking pictures. They're talking.
Right.
About a subject, right? So what's that all about?
So one of the things that one direction that the studio has gone into because of our members' interest are podcasts. And we've got a picture of some of them coming up for later on. The Lit Chicks came out of the writers group, which is very robust at the Art Center, and they wanted to do a podcast. That's total creative control and to get the word out there. And they use the studio to videotape their interview, which is about 15 minutes. And they do their own editing. They tape it, their own editing, and they put it up on social media. And they're having a lot of fun.
And when we say social media, we're talking about YouTube or wherever?
YouTube or Facebook, right. So.
Okay, cool. And they're talking about literature and how to write. And isn't that cool how here we are, Chautauqua County, Westfield, New York, small town USA, doing stuff that's out on the internet. Very cool.
I mean, we can't take any credit for the wonderful content that they have. We're just offering a space, and their creativity is taking off. I think you're doing a podcast there as well.
It's a little project we've been working on.
Yes. I think you certainly paved a way there for your Oak Island Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your readership at this point, or your listenership, I should say?
We are approaching 65,000 views.
That's about a year. That's 1 year later.
A year and a half, yeah. And
it all started with
1 hour class.
It was a 1 hour class in how to edit videos. We do that at the studio. It's free. And it literally is 1 hour, and we show you how to do every video, and then we stand back. We're around if you need a reminder, but we try to stay out of people's way, and where you and your partner Jim have taken it is incredible. I mean, you've taken it well beyond that.
We have almost 2,000 subscribers, and people watch us from around the world. It's
really,
again, small town USA, Westfield, New York, Innovation Studio. There we are, Brock, doing this project.
But the other piece to that is, I feel like you're very empowered because you have 100% creative control in terms of what doesn't get on the, it's our show.
It's
your show. No one else is making editorial decisions for you. It's so based on research that you have very definite ideas about what you want your listeners to hear, and it's I think it's very empowering.
It's great. I think we have a phone call. Is that Chris? Or go ahead.
Hello, Doc.
Yes. Good morning.
This is Linda Spalding. How are you?
Linda, I haven't heard from you since like spring. Where have you been?
Well, no, I called you once in the summer, I think.
I'm
sorry. I was so busy this summer. I'm so sorry. I was like out early in the morning, and it was that kind of a summer. It was beautiful. I'm sorry I neglected you.
I've been neglected. What's up?
Well, I wanted to say good morning to Jacqueline and Sylvia, and I love your Center for the Arts in Westfield.
Yeah.
I've been there, and it's just a fantastic place.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Come
keep
back.
That going. Westfield is so beautiful, and I'm so glad there's so many great things going on there.
Oh, great. So you had a good summer?
I did. How about you?
No complaints. I'm glad it rained a little bit. It's awful dry at my place. So.
Yeah. Well, I know that there were severe warnings tornado warnings in
last night,
in Cattaraugus County.
Exactly, yeah.
At Allegheny State Park area.
I think it's passed now. All right. Well, good to hear from you as always. Thank you.
It's always good to hear from you, and I would catch your show. I guess today's the Alzheimer's Walk?
No, October 5.
Oh, October 5.
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, ladies, good luck with everything. I think it's tremendous, and your photography pictures are wonderful.
That's so nice.
All right. Thanks, Linda. You take care.
Okay, you have a great weekend.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You know, you said something about how does one get started. There is a unique opportunity coming up this coming Saturday on the 14th. We're doing a digital artistry workshop led by Carrie Shank.
Oh, yeah, she's been on the show.
Award-winning digital artist. And that's going to be from 9:30 to 11. That is open to the public. You don't have to be a member for that. And in addition to, so she's going to take you through a journey of her process for digital art, and then she's going to stay for open studio, which are drop-in times, 11 to 1, in case someone wants to try out some of her techniques. So I think that's a unique opportunity. You mentioned textures, adding textures to photograph, which is a great way to add in some self-expression. We have a class coming up on that also September 8th, October 8th, I'm sorry, October 8th.
Yep. If I'm not mistaken, do you have some photographs or something to share? Some slides?
We do have some
slides. All right,
slides.
Chris, let's pop those up. I haven't seen you, so I don't know what I'm getting into here. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's just a picture of the studio there, and as Sylvia said, you can do photo shoots. We offer strobe lights, which are activated by a trigger with professional photography, but also continuous lights for video. We have reflectors,
I'd
light
say the
meter.
room is like a small classroom, right?
It's also, it also works as a classroom as well.
Very cool.
But the nice thing about a studio is these are tables for the classroom that fold up, get out of the way easy in case you're doing a group and you want the use of the whole room.
So it's very versatile.
Right, you can see the backdrops there as
well.
well.
There's another shot. Yep.
That's another shot that shows the classroom computers, the cameras. We have Canon cameras available for folks that don't have their own camera or want to use the studio camera. And then on the other side of the camera there is a huge television where if we're doing pre-recorded training, you can really see what button is being pushed and so forth.
What's nice too is that you have software that most of us can't afford, and there it is.
Right, we have all of the Adobe softwares. That's like $60 a month. But you come to the studio, you have very fast Wi-Fi, and you can use on our studio computers, which are creative computers created for video editing, for example, and use all of the Adobes while you're there.
Okay.
So,
are there other? Oh, there's some more.
So as I was saying, we use the Canon cameras, but we also turn them into video rigs by using a cage and lighting and the microphones. I think the next picture is very important.
Okay,
let's see what's coming up.
Oh,
there you go.
There we are.
And there is Doc and Jim filming their Oak Island Plus, and that is the basic video setup for doing a podcast.
We have produced 18 videos through that studio that's now on YouTube, and like I said, 65,000 views. What the heck?
And you're doing it completely by yourselves with the help of a cameraman, a very talented Randall Bird.
He's our cameraman.
Right.
Yeah.
So
cool. There he
is. He's the man.
Cameraman.
And Randall's part of our leadership team as well at the studio. Yeah. So very important.
We can't do it without him. I'll tell you that much. That's an interesting project. Yeah, go ahead.
So this was in conjunction, this wasn't this year, it was actually a year ago with the One Act Play competition.
Yes.
All right. We recorded 20 of the plays, like a radio play.
Yep.
So we cast talent like yourself to play parts. You don't have to memorize the lines.
That's the best part.
Yes, but you come on in and you're using your voice to act, and we used our recording material recording equipment to add sound effects, to do a little bit of editing. You know, the fun thing about a radio play is if you didn't like the way you said that line, you just held your hand up and you could say it again.
Let the record show. I did everything in one take, by the way.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
We have people that come in and they want to duplicate, as I was saying, their mementos, or we had someone from the Historical Society come in and want to duplicate letters from the Civil War using our equipment there and slides and so forth. And then what do you do with them? You know, you don't want to just have them tucked away on your computer. So then you
can memorialize a lot of things, and a lot of this stuff is on media that's slowly deteriorating too.
Well, it does preserve it. It absolutely does. So the first step is to digitize it, and then you can do so many things. So,
what do we have here?
This happens to be a photo walk. Sylvia mentioned the camaraderie. It's really helpful when you have like minds get together. We probably have a theme. We did a photo walk, was it last night? The night before?
Thursday.
Yeah, it was natural light photography. We wanted to focus on that with a few enhancements. So, you know, they're beautiful places to photograph.
That's behind the library. I know that place. I know exactly. Ooh, that's cool.
Oh, we have something exciting coming up in October, something we've never done. We have extra drop-in hours, so it's every Saturday, most Wednesdays and Mondays. And we are kicking off a challenge. It's a digital arts personal vision challenge on October 2nd. It's a 1-month challenge to kind of push us all to a little bit more originality. Let's start applying some of the techniques that we've learned in class to come up with a digital arts project, really get it underway, and then share it 1 month later on October 30th to present to our peers. Very supportive group, as Sylvia said.
Sylvia, do you have a project in mind?
She does.
Oh, you gonna tell me?
She's not telling. Are you telling?
I don't know. I will.
In general.
It's self-portraiture.
Okay. So you're going to be working on a project, portraitures. That sounds really cool.
Yeah. Selfies. But a little more than that. Yeah.
You know,
doesn't have to be photography, though. It could be audio.
My family tells me that I invented the selfie.
Oh, really?
Because nobody would go where I go, usually when we're on a family trip, like on the top of a mountain or where the cactus are or snakes. So I used to take, you know, the old camera, and I just turn around and take my own picture, and I called it my Forrest Gump pictures, and I would just take my own picture. And my brother says, "You invented the selfie."
There you go. You just didn't get credit.
I just didn't know. Okay, well, we only have a couple minutes left, so I'm going to let you talk about whatever you want to talk about.
So we really, as the leadership team at the Innovation Studio, really does listen to our members and members of the public in terms of what they're interested in. And it changes the type of classes that we offer. We try to, you know, adjust to people's interests. And also every year we add or replace equipment. If we feel something's missing, we felt like a teleprompter was missing last year for as an option for people doing podcasts. So we added that in. But you have the ability to influence where we take the studio as well. We will listen to you. And we're always looking for new studio administrators, folks that want to participate.
Cool.
How many hours a week do you spend as a studio administrator?
Probably maybe 4 at least.
Hardly anything.
Yeah, I mean, you know, open studios a couple hours and then a couple hours for class or more.
Okay, we're down to about a minute. Sylvia, why should somebody come to the studio?
Oh, because they can grow personally. They can form new friendships as well, and they'll discover that they can do things they didn't know they could.
There you go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think it's great.
Last word, Jackie. You got half a minute.
Well, I can't say it much better than that, but absolutely come in for the camaraderie. Before you know it, you're going to get involved also in performing arts or maybe writing that book that you always thought you had in you. Talk about a supportive group. They have it there. So Lakeshore Center for the Arts in Westfield, New York. Please come and participate, and then walk down the hall, come into the studio. You'll be very welcome.
Okay, so within the center, there's theater, there's music, there's artwork, there's photography, you can use the boardroom. I mean, it's there. Yes. It's a community center, really.
It really is, and I think there are a lot of people that still don't know that we're there, so help us get the word out.
And also, we might add, if you have an issue with walking or going upstairs, there's a little Stairglide in
Good
2
point.
parts, and so everybody's welcome there. And I have spent many hours of my life in that building, so I love it there.
Thank you for having us.
Well, absolutely. Folks, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Remember, you can go to lakeshorecenterforthearts.com and find out all the other stuff that's going on here that we didn't talk about. So,
Right.
Jackie and Sylvia, thanks for joining me today, and I'll be there very soon again.
Good. Excellent.
Festival, farmers markets, and all that sort of thing. We're going to do this all next weekend, so stay tuned. See you next time. Bye now.